How's it going, YouTube? Right, last couple of years or so, my channel's been around two main things, really. It's been around the build of this camper, which is still not finished yet. And also, I've been doing a lot of CarPlay, car stereo things and things like that because I'm into technology. This video, and some more coming up, is going to be a bit of a combination of the two of those things. The main reason is I want to change the stereo in this camper. At the beginning of the build of this camper, I removed the standard stereo system and I changed it for an aftermarket one by Eonon, 10.1 inch Android system. Unfortunately, I had a bit of an accident with that. I cracked the screen on it, and then I've swapped it back to one of the ones I had in my Volkswagen previously. This one here, I've put this one back in, this Toto. It's always been a decent system, but it's getting on a bit now. It's running an older version of Android. These are a bit of a pain to update, to be fair, and it's doing something else which is really annoying me, which just randomly just disconnects from the Wi-Fi. I've got Wi-Fi built into this van, so it should have permanent internet, but this keeps disconnecting for some reason. So I want to swap it out. So today, we've got a new one to have a look at. We've got this one from Eonon again. This is a new release from their flagship range, so it should be a good, decent stereo. This is a UX6K PRO MAX. This particular one running on Android 13. We've got 8GB of RAM, Wi-Fi 6 and things like that, so we've got some new technologies in there. So we're going to have a look at this one and fit it to the vehicle. So what we'll do is we'll get it on the bench in a second, we'll unbox it, see what you get in it, I'll fit it to the vehicle, and then we'll go through the running of it, see how to use it, see how it works, and see how it performs. So let's get to the bench, get this box open, and see what you get in it. Right, so here we are on the bench. Let's get this thing opened up and see what you get in it, and then we'll go through some of the specs. Right, what I'll do is I'll pull everything out one at a time, and we'll put it on the desk here and go through it. Right, first thing out of the box is we've got a little user manual here, telling you how to use it, and telling you how to wire it up. Next down is we've got a little box that I'm assuming has got all the wiring in. Let's have a look what you get in here. In this bag here, we've got a little reverse camera and the wiring for the reverse camera. There we are, look. There's the camera that we get with it. According to the spec, it's a 1280 by 720 resolution with a 140-degree wide-angle lens. So you should be able to see plenty out of that. And in the instructions, it's got a little wiring diagram there telling us how to wire it up to the vehicle. Right, in the main bag, GPS antenna, microphone for our hands-free, little bags of screws. These are the different looms depending on what inputs we want. 4G antenna there. The 4G antenna will be used when we're using this loom here, because just here, look, we've got a little SIM card holder on there. So if we want to add 4G to the stereo system, we can. We just put a SIM card in there, and then this loom will plug into the back of the stereo system. This has also got various things for cameras and some audio inputs and things like that. USB loom, this has got our USB inputs, another USB loom there. This is for the wired CarPlay, if that's what you're wanting to use. This does also have wireless CarPlay as well. Audio out loom. In the instructions, it will tell you exactly how to wire up all these extra looms, depending on what system you want, because you might be using an amplifier or you might be going straight out to speakers. So depending on how you want to wire it, all vehicles will be different. The instructions will tell you exactly how to wire all these up. This one here is your main power loom. This end will plug into the back of the car stereo system, and this end will plug into your vehicle. What you will find is 99% of vehicles nowadays won't have these type of plugs. These are the ISO standard plugs. So what you will need is to get an adapter from whatever your vehicle is to the ISO standard. Normally the best thing to do is just get a car stereo fitting kit for your vehicle. That's what I've done in the Peugeot Boxer, which we're fitting in this one. I'll have a quick look at it while the radio's out, but I'm not going to go into too massive detail about the installation of this thing because every one of them are different depending on what vehicle you put it in and depending on what you're wanting to use out of these inputs and outputs. We're just going to do a basic install just to see how the stereo system works. Talking of the stereo system, let's get that out. That's the next thing in the box. Right, so as I said, next thing in the box is the stereo system itself. Let's unpack it and have a quick look. The stereo system itself is a standard 2-DIN size radio, so this will fit in your 2-DIN slots. The screen, we've got a 10.1 inch QLED screen. This, just the same as the other Eonon, it's got these two little tabs here that you can pull out and then you can use those to slide it onto the system itself. It's a bit hard to do here, it's better when it's installed. You can slide this in and position it up and down and move it to whatever position you need to be. Right, so with the stereo system together, as you can see, it does move to any angle that you want, so you can reposition the screen. And as I said, you can move it up and down to get it exactly how you want it to be when it's in your vehicle. We'll have a quick look at the back first. On the back, we've got all the sockets to plug everything into, all those looms we've just looked at. You've got your power there. These are all the auxiliary looms for your USB inputs and camera inputs and things like that. These will only plug into one, so each loom will have its own slot, so you won't be able to get these mixed up, so it makes it nice and easy to wire these things up. And then over this side, we've just got some antenna connections there. We've got the 4G, GPS, and the little Wi-Fi is already built in there. Look, that's like a little knobble that's on there. And then we've got your antenna radio aerial there. One thing I didn't show you earlier is just down there, it's got a little micro SD slot, so you can put a memory card in there, so if you've got any music or films or anything like that, you can slot it just in there behind the screen. If I lay this back, we can have a look at this really nice screen. The first thing you notice is on the bottom, we've got some proper physical buttons. These make it really easy to operate the thing when you're not even looking at it, which I do like in car stereos. I do like some physical buttons, and as you can see on these ones as well, is they're not specific to left-hand or right-hand drive vehicles. These are literally, the main volume knob is right in the middle to make it easier to reach from the left or the right, which is also nice because you get a lot of them, they get the buttons up one side and they're normally set up for left-hand drive vehicles. Me being in the UK, right-hand drive, these I have to reach right across the stereo system to get to the buttons. These being at the bottom are in a really nice place. Right, so let's run through a few specs on this system. This runs on the Qualcomm 6225 processor, 8-core processor. It runs on Android 13. We've got a 1280 by 720 QLED display, which is a similar resolution to everything else we've looked at. Practical physical knobs on the front, which we've seen. This is Wi-Fi 6, a Wi-Fi 2.45 GHz ready. Runs on the latest Bluetooth 5.1 system. We've got 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of internal storage. Like I said, this is your standard 2-DIN size, so it's a universal fitment on 2-DIN holes, or double DIN. One thing I forgot to mention, which I've just noticed, is the screen and how it's bonded to this back. It's not just a screen in a frame, this is actually a bonded screen, you know, like your iPhones and things like that, which makes the quality of it feel really nice. So let's get this in the vehicle, switch it on, and let's see how it looks. I've just taken the old stereo out, and this is what I mean by those adapter kits. This plug here, this is the original vehicle plug, which this one normally plugs into the back of the stock system. And then this socket with this wiring here, this is the adapter kit for my vehicle, which, as we can see, look, changes it out to the standard ISO sockets. As part of that, it comes with one of these. This is like a little decoder unit for the CAN bus. So it converts signals like reverse signal and steering wheel controls and stuff like that for aftermarket car stereo systems. They're pretty straightforward, to be honest. So I'm not going to go into massive detail of how to wire this up because this is specifically for this vehicle. All you need to know is you need an aftermarket car stereo adapter for your specific vehicle. And don't skimp out, get the one that's got these little CAN bus decoders as well, because then if you want to maintain your steering wheel controls, you'll need one of those as part of the kit. And they also come with other bits like this, look. This one's a aerial antenna. We need that type of plug to plug into the back of the car stereo system. The stock stereo comes with this type of plug, so it comes with these kind of adapters that adapt it out, and this one as well. Look, this is for the DAB. We won't need it for this particular car stereo system, but that converts this little square one, look, into your normal standard connection for your, I think it's an SMA or something like that, a little SMA socket for your DAB. Normally as well, if you get one specific for your vehicle, you get these brackets and things like that, and a little fascia plate to replace your car stereo with, which is what I got. Another thing that I forgot to mention on this new car stereo system is under the screen, look at the bottom, we've got two USB-C sockets there, which is quite good because that means we can directly plug things in USB underneath the screen. On the website as well, these come with various accessories. I was sent one to try out. If we have a look over here, I've been sent as well one of the accessories to try out. This particular one is a dash cam. So this will record dash cam footage and we can view it on the screen. So I'll be plugging this in and trying it as well while we're at it. So I'll see you back in a second when that is in that hole and it's working. Right, so there we have it. That's the system installed and it's powered up. It's looking pretty snazzy there, actually. I'm going to play with this for a couple of days, figure out how to use it, and then I'll see you back and we'll have a go through all the features. I've fitted the dash camera up there as well, so we'll have a look at everything, shall we? Right, I've been trying the radio for a few days now. We're actually away. We're just parked up in Bridport, Dorset. We're away for a few days, so I've had a chance to try this radio. One thing I do notice straight away is how quick it turns on, look. If I press this to turn it on, about 3 or 4 seconds, we've got power. Right, so I'm starting up the stereo. This is the screen you get. You can actually quickly change this picture here on the wallpaper, literally just by swiping across. You can swipe between all of your saved wallpapers that are on your device, so you can quickly change the look of this to whatever you want it to be. At the bottom, you've got some shortcuts to some apps that are already preset on the device themselves. You've got a little GPS app there just to test our GPS system, just to make sure we're getting a signal. That you can. This has also got a bit in it as well to use as a compass and show your speed. So there's a few different things you can do with this app. I just press back there down here to get back. Let's talk about these buttons actually while we're here. The first one there, that's your back button. From what I can see, none of these are mappable, apart from the next one, which is your navigation. If I press that, look, this brings up your choice of navigation app there. You can pick whichever navigation you want to use. The rest of them, from what I see, I don't think they're mappable. But to be honest, I don't think they need to be. While we're on the subject of these buttons, they're absolutely massive. You can find them really easy. I actually quite like the look of them. And even though none of my buttons in the vehicle actually look anything like this, they're fitted with the aesthetics quite well. And I'm sure they would in any vehicle that it actually goes in. So as I said, this first one is the back button. Second one is the navigation. Third one and the fourth one over here. This one's previous track. This one's next track. This one is your music button here. So if I press that, that brings it up to whatever music you've got stored in the device itself. And the last one over here, this is your DSP. So you've got all your amplifiers and things like that in here. While we're in here, let's have a quick look at it, actually. This, you've got a massive range of full frequency. You've got 3 pages worth of frequency, look, that you can set up to make this sound exactly how you want it to sound. Top left, look, up here, we've got some preset settings there that we can go through. And so you can change the style of the sound to anything you want it to be. So we've got full mode, loudness, you've got a curve there, so you can literally draw a curve with your finger to exactly how you want it to sound on each page. And finally, a reset button there, which takes it all the way back. Down at the bottom, first one is the equalizer that we've got here. Next one, we've got some bass boost settings there, front and rear. Next one along, 3D surround look, so we can turn on a bit of surround sound. It's pointless doing it in this vehicle because I've only got front speakers. Next one is your sound field, so you can change where you want the sound to come from. It's similar to 3D surround. It changes all of the delays in the speakers, so it reaches the driver at the right time if you set it at your driver or your passenger. So you can make the sound focus to a point that you want it to go to. So lastly, you've got your sound filters. So if you've got any subwoofers or anything like that, you can filter out low frequencies from your normal speakers there, which over in bass boost there, look, if I press bass, there you've got your subwoofer settings there, your high and low frequency filters. So you get a really extensive equalizer built into this, so you can really play around with the sounds of this. Back onto these apps, look, you've got, like I said, you've got your quick start apps that you can set up to be whatever you want. You've got a little click to add there at the end, so you can add another app in. Down at the bottom, you've got a shortcut to your most used items, like your app drawer and your settings, music, CarPlay, stuff like that. So if we have a look in the app drawer, you get a few apps that are quite useful. You've got your camera settings and things like that. As we saw, we fitted a DVR system. So if I press that, this is an optional extra, the DVR camera. But as you can see now, the camera's looking out the windscreen and it's automatically recording. And if you press a screen, it brings up a little menu to the left, look. So you can check out your recordings and things from previously, or turn off the auto record, turn off the sound and things like that. Over at the right here, look, it's got a little picture-in-picture button. If you press that, it moves it into like a little picture-in-picture, and it'll stay there during whatever you're doing. Right, we'll have a quick look in settings. You can see what version and things like that we're at. So if we go to System and then About Device, look, we can see there, look, we've got 8 GB total RAM size, so it's a pretty decent sized RAM. So if we're wanting to multitask and things like that, we definitely can with this. 128 gig of built-in memory in the device itself. Resolution there, look, 1280 by 720. So it's not the highest resolution, but 720 is pretty standard for these size screens, so I'm not complaining about that at all, and it looks nice and crisp. We've got Android version 13, so we are running Android 13. And talking of up to date, we've got the software updater there, look, so it's got over-the-air updating. If I check for updates, I think we're already on the latest version. The current version is the latest version, look, so you can over-the-air update this device, which is good because some of them don't do that. Obviously in these settings, there's lots of stuff you can do, so you can set up all your wallpapers and your display and things like that from these buttons. Over in general, these have got some useful ones in as well. When it first comes, you've got this touch sound here. So every time you do anything, it beeps like that. I turned that one straight off, to be fair. And then it's got another few useful bits. There's one down at the bottom which I found really useful. The main reason is the reversing camera system, look. I didn't use the camera that came with it. I've got a camera on this vehicle that's kind of built into the rear light. It's nowhere near as good quality, but it fits in with the aesthetics of the vehicle a little bit better. So what I did is in camera system, because it didn't work to start with, in camera system, I went in there, look, and I just changed it to auto matching, and then it found the system. As soon as I turn the camera on, let me just turn the ignition on and I'll show you. I'll put it in reverse. There you are, there's the camera looking out the back. As you can see, it's not the highest of quality at all. It's a pretty low quality camera, to be honest. So this is not the camera that came with the system. I've seen those cameras before and they are much better quality. But if we come back out of reverse now, there you'll see, look, it's gone into that CVBS and it's changed the mode itself. When I first fitted this, I couldn't get the camera to work. And that was why. It's the system type. Z-Link 5 is what we use for CarPlay or Android Auto. I've currently got it set up to CarPlay. There we are, we're into CarPlay now, so that's starting up. I like using TomTom as my navigation. These buttons down at the bottom, they work the same for your next and previous track and things like that. If we use the best album in the world, just to show you what that does. I'll turn the sound down because of copyright, obviously. But your one in the middle is the play button, so that started playing. Previous track, now look, we're flicking through tracks. Next track as well. So these buttons are all working as well on Apple Play as they do on the normal Android side of the system. So if I stop that now, comment below if you agree this is the best album in the world. Right, so Apple CarPlay is CarPlay. We'll not talk about that anymore. But to be honest, it seems pretty responsive, the same as any other system. We press car to get back out of that, and then we're back into the Android system again. One thing we will look at, obviously in your apps, you've got Play Store, so you can download any apps that you want to download, just the same as any other. You've got YouTube and everything else, so all your streaming services you can watch on this. Oh, I've connected to CarPlay, so it's disconnected my Wi-Fi. So if I connect the Wi-Fi again, whilst that's doing that, let me show you something a second. If we go into the app drawer, we can do split screen on this. So if I pick another app, let's go for this camera one. Look, if I press and hold at the top there, we say split left, go back to the YouTube, press on that, and then that'll split right. And then you can see, look, we're running a split screen mode there, so we can swap between the two apps as we so wish. YouTube's running as well, so let's go back into YouTube. There's one thing we want to look at. So if we swipe it left, that brings it back up to single screen. There's one thing I want to have a quick look at in here. Let's try the latency test, just to see what the sound sync's like, because I know a lot of people's asked in my other videos, what's the sound sync like between video and audio? Let's have a look. Right, so if we use this latency test video here, we'll start this running, turn the sound up. Go into full screen as well, so you can see how that looks. Now, we've got absolutely no latency at all between the video and the sound coming out, so that is pretty bang on. So obviously, apart from YouTube, you can download all your usual stuff like Netflix and things like that. We wired up the two key wires as well, so we can use the buttons from the steering wheel. So in this wheel key thing here, this is how you program that. So if I press something on the steering wheel itself and then press the corresponding button, that'll program it up. So by doing that, I've already programmed it up so the volume works off the steering wheel. So if I press up on the steering wheel, with the ignition on, our volume's going up and down like that from the steering wheel. So we're using the controls from the steering wheel as normal. You just need to go into this app here and program it all up. The radio app, let me turn that down. We've got usual features. You've got your search up and down. When you've found the station that you want to find, you just press and hold on the button down there, and then that'll save it into memory. So if I press this up and hold it for a few seconds, that should find another station. There you are. Classic FM, I assume. We'll try again, find another one. I'm sure last time I did it, it came up with the name in there. Let's have a quick look, see if we can find another. Right, there you are. I've just found another one, look, and it does say the name of the station up there. I think that was just down to reception. So I found that station. If I press and hold that, that'll save that station into that first slot log. So we've got BBC Radio 2 saved in there. I don't use the radio app, to be honest, on many car stereo systems. There's a load of other things that obviously this can do, but I'm not going to go through every feature at all. I like those shortcut buttons on the bottom. They're really nice and convenient. Obviously, when you're driving, concentrating on the road, you want to reach over and turn the volume up and down or something like that. You just grab the little knob in the middle, give it a twist, and you're turning up the volume. Makes it super convenient. I do like physical buttons rather than those little capacitive things that you get on the screen. I have said that many times before. I'll put some links down below where you can find this system yourself. It is a pretty new system. I'm sure it's up for sale now, so I'll put the links down below where you can check that out. If I've got any discount codes or anything like that, I'll obviously put those down below as well. But that's another stereo system that I'm actually quite impressed with. You wouldn't be disappointed at all if you bought this for yourself, and especially at the price range it's at. It's not a bad price at all. So if you want to see some more things like this, I do throw these stereo systems up on my channel now and again. I do a mixture between these stereo systems and things like that, a bit of tech and the camper van build. So if you want to see more of that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Comment below anything you want to say. I do like reading all your comments. Like the video if you liked it, and I'll catch you again in another video. Cheers.